Hey guys, Allan here. Just a few things I want to go over before the podcast starts. And the first thing is, we were still trying to figure out a name at the time, so you'll hear us refer to it as the Pole Barn Podcast. But we've since decided that we rather the name the Bait Shop. So the other thing that I wanted to mention was the sound quality isn't the best this episode. We still got a lot to learn, and we didn't realize how much feedback we were getting through the table because we would set like whatever onto the table. It would come back through the mic, and at the time we didn't realize it, but I think with the next episode you're going to see a big difference in the sound quality. Soon we're going to invest in some proper mics, but for now, just bear with us or whatever. And without further ado, welcome to the Bait Shop.
Hello, everyone. You're listening to the Pole Barn Podcast here. Eastern PEI. We got our friends here, Allan Robertson, Tim Ching, and Ben McNeil. I, myself, and Isaac Ching, and we're just...
Hey, well, you didn't let us introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. Isaac is now officially the host. That's great.
I'll try it.
How about we can all have a turn being the host? You know, I don't want to.
We can just
What's up to
we could have a rotating host every episode.
Yeah. All right.
That sounds good.
We just can't pussy out because I just ran out of stuff to say in the intro. But I feel like once we get the intro down.
Oh, I got lots of stuff I can just speak up about.
Okay.
Let's hear it, Ben. What's new in your life these days?
Well, still just working at the old fish hatchery.
Wonderful.
But other than that, not a whole lot.
For those of you that don't know, Ben McNeil is a
Wildlife
conservation technician here on Prince Edward Island.
Saving all the animals.
Yeah. I don't know how much of that I'm doing inside a fish hatchery, but you know.
Follow him at Benny Bad Luck on Instagram.
Yeah, no, all those photos.
Beautiful
Well,
photographer.
You know, I usually find it pretty annoying when Instagram like pops up in a notification like so and so hasn't posted in a while. But when I see your name come up, I get excited. I rush right to Instagram to see what Ben's saying about squirrels or whatever the
Well,
fuck you
thanks,
found.
guys. That's mighty appreciated.
The breathing air of David Suzuki.
The breathing
think so.
air of David Suzuki. Wouldn't go that far. You guys are
You're projecting.
projecting a pretty putting me on a pretty high pedestal. Jeez.
Well, it's like whenever Hinterland Who's Who ended, Ben just on the TV, just nope, gonna keep this going.
Honestly, that'd probably be a dream job if I could get that
Oh my
that
gosh.
gig.
Yeah.
Oh my
What is it?
god.
Tell me about it.
Hinterland's Who's Who.
What is it?
It's just like you know the commercials like.
Oh yeah. This is a crane.
Do
Yeah.
the loon.
That'd be cool if one just like out in the pond there echoed back.
Yeah, I've always wanted to rip off one of them episodes. Like you'd be like, I don't know, watching Tim or something in the gym, and like, this is a Ching in his natural habitat, attracting mates for the winter.
Well, you laugh.
Jump tackling Isaac.
Yeah, you laugh, but your guys' mom has some of the more uncommon bird sightings on PEI.
Go away.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. You guys had like a pelican in the pond one time.
Yeah, that's rare.
On the news.
Yeah.
That made national
Tough
news here in
shit,
Prince
yeah.
Edward Island. 12 years, 13 years ago.
Crazy to think it was that long ago.
It was a long time ago. I remember, what's his name?
Lloyd Robertson.
Lloyd Robertson, yeah, talking about the Ching family on the
Father
national.
of Canada.
Is that guy still alive?
No, I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, I think he's probably still kicking.
We would have heard otherwise. He's a national treasure.
Oh, yeah.
He's a national treasure.
He's up there with Terry Fox and all that.
That shit.
You know what? I hope Alex Trebek is gonna be all right.
Yeah,
I think everyone's hoping that.
Did you hear his latest update? Like, it was pretty.
Yeah.
Is it grim?
It was just heartwarming. Like he was saying, like he was starting to get towards remission, and he thought he was on the easy path, and then everything kind of went bad again. But no, he looked great. He had the suit on. He looked all cleaned up. Like,
He's wearing a wig, though.
oh yeah,
You
yeah.
can definitely tell.
Well, I couldn't tell. Like, I just never put one and one together, to be honest with you. Like, obviously he's wearing a wig, but when I was watching the video, it didn't even cross my mind.
He's looking good though, you know, for like a guy his age with cancer.
Pancreatic stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, yeah, there's not much worse ways to go. I mean, but
Well, actually, There are a few tough ones.
Burned to death.
What's that?
I'm not talking about this again. I'm not arguing if it's worse to burn to death or freeze to death. I'm talking about it. Obviously, it's
That'll
freeze
be
to death.
another grim later episode. I have no
You
clue.
think it's
Stay
worse
tuned,
to freeze to
folks.
death?
Absolutely, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? Your body goes numb.
Yeah.
You don't even feel anything. It's great. Burning, you're literally
Your body's gonna go numb when you're burning to death. You're gonna have so much adrenaline running through you.
all
not
the,
gonna have any
all the
adrenaline
fat
when you
in your
freeze.
all the fat on you is gonna like sizzle and bubble like bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon
I don't
grease.
know. I'd rather burn to death.
Some
Okay,
fucks
well,
try.
that's kind of fucked up, but okay.
Like if I had the choice, anyway.
You guys.
go monk style.
They had
Jesus.
some ways to
What are you
go.
saying, Isaac?
There had some. I remember back in school, people would be, and we'll get back to what you were saying, Ben. We kind of. But anyways.
No.
No, we're not gonna start apologizing. We're going off track. It's gonna be a long podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of going off track.
Sorry.
Well, anyways, back in school, there were these people, and probably most thought they were top shit, because they argued it'd be better to fall into a volcano than to freeze to death. Everyone compares like dying to freezing to death, but I looked that shit up. Apparently, lava's more dense than water, so apparently, allegedly, it's like falling on concrete.
Yeah, but you don't make it all the way down. They talked about this in.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever listened to the podcast Ologies with Ali Ward?
No.
That's a great science podcast, and one of them, the very first episode was volcanology, which is the study of volcanoes. And she,
I was thinking Star Trek.
yeah, yeah, Spock, Vulcan salute. Anyways, the volcanologist that was being interviewed. Good one, Tim. That's a good segue into the abrupt eruption.
Is that what it sounds like when you burn?
I have no clue. Yeah, just a puff, but it sounds like a bird. No, they were saying that like before you even can come close to like approaching heat or whatever it was, the specialist was saying that like
Probably sublimate. You probably just start vaporizing.
well, not even that. First of all, like the I guess the gases that come up from it, like the different like sulfur or whatever it is, it just like
Choke you with it.
you swallow, you just like you go out like that.
What if you hold your breath though?
I'd rather not
be
hold
able
my
to
breath.
do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
While you're
Or what-
screaming.
If you're holding your breath, what are you planning on like diving underneath and like swimming back up to the top?
I feel like
Stay alive as long as possible.
be like Izzy Almostafa on those the Old Spice commercials. Swan dive.
Be like fucking Ch at a basin, you know? Just I don't know.
That's how Drew's gonna go out, man. He's gonna be in like Honolulu. You guys know me, I'm Drew. He's like swan dive, or like what's that called when you go head first in?
Gainer. No. Oh, what is that called? Head first. Superman dive?
Well, there's Superman. There's the watermelon. There's
Watermelon. That's it.
You gotta give it to Jared. He's been doing flips and tricks and all that kind of stuff since like.
Not many people that earned their name on that bridge, but sure, definitely did.
Well, there's Bridge Keeper.
I'm not going there.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
He did not. Sorry, he did not earn his name because he's jumping on people's head, jumping on the wrong side of the bridge. I think-
Wait, there's a wrong side of the bridge?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever the tide's going out,
Okay,
you
yeah.
don't jump on the one that's going through.
Did you guys know Bridge Creep has fucked every girl at that beach?
According to him.
Should we talk about Bridge Creep? Should we describe it for the?
No, I'm on Reddit here in a no stupid r/no stupid questions. What is worse, freezing to death or burning to death? I'm just trying to find some people on my side here, but
Now, let me ask you a question. Who are these people that are arguing? Who has the knowledge of this?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who's coming back to life to let you know which is worse?
Well, I was thinking if you were freezing to death, maybe if you're people are probably just people who know the answer listen to this podcast are gonna think we're fucking idiots, but
well,
like, no, you
We're
need
up
to.
to good stairs.
Well, like I mean, your brain probably wouldn't be functioning like 100%. Maybe you
the
kind of
blood
had
would start
like
thickening. You know, you start suffocating. All
Probably
the heat
have-
from your body's gonna start getting drawn out, so you're gonna be frostbite all over.
probably have some cool hallucinations. I'd say.
Listen, the greasy bandit here on Reddit said he's only ever frozen to death.
The Greasy Bandit. What a username.
He's only ever
Sounds
frozen to death, so
trustworthy.
that's only fair for him to answer.
Okay.
He's only ever froze to death.
He's a jokester, the Greasy Bandit.
I'm gonna make a little bit of a segue here. What is the most ridiculous online username you've ever used?
Ooh, I've actually used the same. I'm not gonna out it though because it's my Reddit name.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I've used the same. Oh, fuck, I said that.
All
Sorry.
our viewers are gonna start spamming you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one viewer, which is my mom. Hi, mom.
Man, now I want to say it because I came to me in a dream.
Well, you may as well say it.
Then I have to change my Reddit name.
No, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Two
You've
fingers.
seen what happens though whenever people give out their information like that.
I just put too much weird shit in that website.
Yeah.
I don't need people following me on that.
Oh no, people are gonna be mistaking your brony subscription.
Yeah, right. Don't even start that rumor. I don't even know what that means, bro.
Yeah.
What's a brony? Educate me.
Yeah.
Who was it that had that online accounts? It was in some TV show or something.
Not Club Penguin.
No, it might have been Always Sunny maybe or something. It was like a big dick American or some shit. Or was that Borat? Or do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Michael Scott from The Office had a little kid lover.
Little kid lover, that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
I think the worst one I've ever had was from an old Hotmail account back when I was in like before junior high. It was like diabetic dude at hotmail.com. I was like, there was another one I had back when I was really into like Michael Bay's Transformer movies.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, those were awesome.
I think it was like Transformer_freak at hotmail.com.
Nice.
Were you into Bionicles?
I was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
sick.
Were you into those like knights? Those I think Lego knights. I forget what.
Those are Bionicles, I think.
No,
Lego
these-
made Bionicle.
Lego did
Bionicle
make
Bionicle
Bionicle, yeah.
Knights were a thing, I think.
I know they made a game, they made a TV show, and they all sucked, but the toys were awesome.
They
They
were
were
fucking cool.
Yeah, we watched. I remember watching the two movies and thinking like, what the fuck?
Wait, they had movies? Maybe I
Yeah,
shouldn't
we had
watch
two
them.
of
I
them.
wouldn't.
They weren't that great.
It's like Shark Boy and Lava Girl type shit.
No, even worse.
That's
it was
a
like
national treasure.
Just awful. treasure.
Dream, 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 dream.
I bet Alan's favorite username was Shark Boy. Was your Alan?
I never had a Shark Boy handle.
I want that username now.
Shark Man.
Shark Man.
Uh,
Shark Man.
For your
child.
wedding, are you gonna have a Shark Boy and Lava Girl themed wedding?
No, but I kind of like the way you think.
What about Spy Kids 3D?
No, what's that other one? Sky High. Remember that movie?
That was
Sky
I love
High.
that movie.
That guy was a little bitch.
You know what though? I always got Sky High and what was the other one with Tim Allen? Zoom. Zoom mixed up because they had
shit.
the same like comic
Whoa.
intro.
Soon sucked. Sky
Both-
High was way better.
Fuck guys, they were both very good in films.
Yeah,
I think Zoom was better.
I thought like Tim
Let's
Allen's
just argue with
fucking
Allan,
awesome.
right?
they
Sounds
were
fun.
they were both directed by Spielberg, right?
Yeah. Well, like, Tim Allen's just not the man he used to be.
He's still pretty good though. I missed. I enjoyed seeing him in Toy Story 4.
Yeah, he's Woody. Yeah,
What?
He's Buzz.
he's Buzz. Yeah.
Tom Hanks is Woody.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I'm gonna run out for a second, grab my sandwiches. I'll be right back.
All right.
Tim.
I want a peanut butter and jam,
I'll ask Nancy.
please.
You
I don't
know,
want on that.
Give my
gluten-free
regards
stuff
to
either.
Nancy.
it just occurred to me. I don't know if we really gave the listeners a good synopsis.
Of who we are.
Who we are, what this podcast is all about, how it came to be,
Okay, to me, what?
what we're gonna be discussing, which is I think just kind of nonsense, really. But
Well,
it's
I mean,
conversation.
I kind of like the whole point of it was really just kind of discuss each other's interests and I don't know some current stuff. We're not gonna get political for sure because that just never ends well.
Yeah.
Or at least we're gonna try our darndest to do so. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to talk about like what people are up, like what we're up to and all that. We can have
Yeah.
guests on and stuff like that.
We've talked about it for a long time. We always wanted to do it. And yeah, this is the first episode. We're seeing how it goes.
Maybe we could you imagine Joe Rogan coming on as a guest?
The man himself.
Like, oh my god.
Shows up
Can you imagine?
in Black Pond, PEI, just like, yeah, I heard you guys are doing a podcast. I'd like to be on it.
Just set up a little isolation tank in the back. He'll be here. No
Well,
doubt.
I mean, Barbara from Rooster Teeth's Canadian. She can come out.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
all that stuff.
I think you'd have to start like you get like.
They didn't
Bird.
start. Yeah, but they weren't like a conglomerate like they are now. Like
No.
they like even listening to their old stuff, they were only very small back.
They're,
when
they did 100 episodes of the Drunk Tank before they even turned on a video camera.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And
We're on par for the course pretty
Oh my
much.
gosh.
well, I don't know. I understand why they wouldn't want to do the camera thing. It's just so much more work.
Yeah.
We don't have a broadcast crew. We're just 3 guys, soon to be 4 guys, sitting in a barn with a rock band microphone, sitting in the middle of a table, talking on a podcast.
Yeah. So Isaac, what's new with you? You got any stuff on the go?
Not overly. It's kind of fall and everything, so kind of starting into my slow hibernation
Yeah,
for winter.
the great Canadian hibernation.
I'm gonna see if I pull off some facial hair this year, along with
That's gonna hurt, man.
what? Okay. Well, yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't know if I can get out anyway.
I see what you did there. I'm slow with it.
I don't think Isaac even still knows what I'm talking about.
No, ripping that shit out. No,
Yeah.
working on some knives. Hopefully making a good go of that.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Isaac here, he's a part-time blacksmith.
Yeah.
He's got a little shop set up here. It's actually where we're recording the podcast, and it's pretty safe to say you're kind of an old soul, aren't you, Isaac?
Oh yes, been listening to a lot of Stan Rogers.
Sure.
I'd
There's
like
nothing
to
wrong
get
with that.
I'd like to get like what are those? A good pea coat, and like it'd be cool if I could pull off a flat cap. I wish we
You
could
could
bring that
definitely
back.
pull off a flat
Yeah,
cap.
I think that'd be awesome.
I know what you mean though, because like there's certain articles of clothing that like are just they're kind of a bit out there, and it's risky to try and pull them off. But there's some that are really cool. I've always really liked the old sea captain sweaters with the big fluffy turtleneck
That's what I'd like to
thing.
get
I've always
too.
wanted one of those, but and they're like quarter sleeve tee or something, or they're quarter sleeve
Yeah,
like
a
sweaters
real
or
wool
whatever.
sweater.
Yeah,
They have those at Victoria Road. They have like this shop there.
do they?
And they like hand knit. Oh, I wish I knew the name of it, but Victoria Road, downtown Charlottetown, and they knit all the sweaters in the store.
Huh?
I was gonna buy one, but they're like
Probably expensive as hell.
$200 to $300 price range, which I think is like the going rate for like knit sweaters now.
I
Like,
guess.
well, like I mean, actual like try and like look around. Like there's not really.
Not too many people in the business.
No, and like and like they're mostly like expensive. You obviously don't want to get one of those really like white ones. Like a sailor, I don't think a sailor would have ever worn a white sweater, but that's what a lot of people are wearing now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, you get back to the docks, and
Yeah, maybe like formal.
I watch a lot of Deadliest Catch, and I haven't seen any white sweaters.
Yeah.
I watch too much of that show. I could probably talk about that show the entirety of this podcast.
Some good shit.
What season are they on? They gotta be getting.
15.
Fuck, that's a long show.
Yeah, man. And you think it'd be boring? It should be boring. It's not. They just
Yeah.
go out. It's amazing. They risk their lives. They drop those crab pods. They pick them up. They move them around. It's just so entertaining. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Like, they definitely did something right there.
There's like 3 colors for like the whole show. Everything's
Yeah.
so gray, but
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's good.
Rogue Wave!
So you,
Get him back on the ship. Get him back on the ship.
Oh my god, I was watching an episode today. There's this crazy dude. I'm after forgetting his name, and I'm after forgetting what boat he's on. But anyway, he's on Keith's boat, and I can't even think of his name, the name of that boat. Doesn't matter. They found a walrus.
Oh,
a
Found a
walrus?
dead walrus. So they're all freaking out. Like they wanted
What?
to wanted to bring it on board. They wanted to use it for bait.
it was a walrus for bait.
Yeah. So
How big are the crabs that they're catching? They're like the snow crab, or what's the deal?
there's 2 seasons they do, but yeah, those king crab, they're
Yeah.
massive, big.
King crab. That's
Yeah.
right.
And
I've never watched a single episode of that show. I remember though.
I just started picking it back up
Yeah.
after a couple of years.
I remember they had a video game of it, and I remember.
Yeah, I played it.
Was it any good?
No, Evan came home. Because like I was saying earlier, like it should be boring in the show. Well, all the stuff that they did in the show right that makes entertaining, none of that's in the video game.
Well, I remember seeing Matthew Bird had a copy of the game.
He would.
And I'm not sure if it was his or it was they got it for him and Ryan or what the deal is.
Yeah.
But I remember when we were back in like this was before junior high or something like that. I remember watching him play that game, and the first little like segment where they're introducing like the instructions of how to actually control the game.
Yeah.
He took, I think it was a half hour trying to dock the goddamn boat.
That's half the fun.
Oh man, it sounds like a good time.
Well, I remember I was in the middle of a really good game of Halo with the boys online, and Evan comes burst into my room. It's like, Allan, I got it. I got the game. This was when it was new. We
I
probably
got
paid
it.
like $60 for it too. He's like, when are you gonna be done? Like, I want to catch some crab here, man.
I'll tell you one obscure game that I bought that I got hours of enjoyment out of it, and it was rated poorly, but I didn't care.
What was it?
Do you remember the show Deadliest Warrior?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made a video game for it. Actually, they made a couple, but the one that it was like a fighter kind of game where you
Like Street Fighter kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And
That's cool.
me and my brother would always play it, and my brother was big into the Knight, and I was big into the Spartan.
Right.
And every time I would just like destroy
demolish
him.
him?
Yeah. So then he had to start like switching it up, and then I got the expansion pack and had like the Shaolin Monk from season 2 and stuff like that. It was a pretty cool game, but
I remember the show. I remember really, really liking it. I do remember the episode with the Spartan.
I do like the show, but you could definitely tell it was heavily Americanized because like every time there was an American soldier of some form in history,
Yeah.
it would always win.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I did notice that.
I remember watching one and people were like passive aggressively trying to like shove on like whose country has like the most like has like the best warrior, you know?
But the thing about like Deadliest Warrior that I don't think a lot of people got was like there's some warriors that were probably fighting in areas that are not countries anymore. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
Yeah, that's
like,
a good point.
Yeah, like history has changed so much that there's so many different
Not-
regions that aren't called what they used to be like.
Yeah.
Not everything was written down either.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Tim's
Oh,
back.
whoa, is that microwave everything?
I am back. Better in jam.
Oh my gosh,
What do you got here?
What?
What do you
That
have
is
there?
some maritime madness. Honey
Nice.
mustard hot sauce. Have you ever had that, Ben?
No, I have not. But that's a shameless. plug.
Not
You
your
have to plug it.
grandma's pickles! Exclamation mark.
Mustard pickle flavor, yes.
Isaac, can you have me that JBC again?
Oh, this stuff?
Yeah. No. Well, actually, that too, I guess.
Oh,
No,
Junior.
Alan.
Yeah,
Alan
yeah,
can
yeah.
have the nuggets.
I want to know.
Nugget?
You have them all, because I didn't know you wanted to.
I kind of forgot
I
there.
just want to squirt some of that hot sauce in my mouth, so I don't want to ask you for a bite of that.
We have reached the dinner portion of the podcast.
Yeah, how long did it take? 20 minutes of the first one?
What?
20 minutes into the first podcast, we're already eating.
This is going to be a normal thing, I think.
Yeah, well, especially in winter.
Yeah.
Everyone gets way more snacky in winter.
We could get some roasted nuts and
The average Canadian doubles in size.
For those of you, I guess everybody be listening to the audio version, Isaac Ching is putting hot sauce on his knuckles.
Doing a hot sauce burn. Yeah, hot sauce bump.
How's that taste?
Good, I can almost visualize it's on a sandwich. You just gotta...
that's really good.
Alright, none of that shit. None of that ASMR shit.
So, you're on the farm now, right though, Isaac? No?
Got a job working construction.
Okay.
Cows construction.
Building houses and saving
Oh,
lives.
Building it up.
And then knocking her down.
Yeah. Not bad.
Hell of a carpenter.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
someday, whenever the land calls me back, I'll return to the farm. I mean, you know. Well, not done with my adventure away from the farm yet, you know. Just gotta do. A buddy of mine, Ren, he's going down to the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Or Dominican or Costa Rica. One of the two. Anyways, he's going down for a month, and none of this resort shit. He's getting like an actual like cottage down there. So I thought I'd go down for like a week or two and like do some surfing and stuff. You know? Keep your sanity a bit. Like
That'd be cool.
I'm starting to like go loopy already. It's not even like October yet. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've had a bit of seasonal depression as of late.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. It just, and Mom and I were talking about this too. It's like every September it hits me, and it maybe just the fact that like I'm 2 years out of school now, and every time I see everyone going back to class, I'm like, oh, God damn, I want to be back there.
right?
Yeah.
Coming to school is fun. I don't think like
I loved college, man.
yeah.
College, out of the 2 years of college and the 2 years of university, bar none, college was better.
Yeah.
Just experience wise.
Yeah.
I definitely learned more there too. I think.
What did you take there anyway?
Well, that was my. I took the wildlife conservation technician diploma,
Okay.
and then I did.
That's a 2-year program.
Well, yeah, and then you can do the 2+2.
Okay.
So I got a full degree for doing 2 years after the college,
Right on.
and so then I got my bachelor in wildlife conservation in the faculty of biology.
So what's like a day to day, what's like a day in the life
On the
that-
farm?
or with the wildlife, or what are you working with the wildlife conservation now, or what are you doing now?
Right now I'm on. I'm working for a fish hatchery.
Oh
Yeah,
Which spot is that?
the one in Victoria, the halibut one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that from like the course you took type thing? Is that like in your field or like?
It's field adjacent. It's not what I went to school for, but it's good for like the experience I'm getting for like. There's stuff like I learned from my program that is applicable for it.
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. What you guys do is you get the eggs from somewhere, you hatch them, and then grow them for a while, and then sell them. Right? Is that how it
That's
goes?
some of it, yeah. Well, like we produce our own eggs because we have a holding spot for where we keep our brood stock, which are the fish that produce the eggs.
Okay.
And then we have our regular circulation fish, and they just get harvested once they reach age. It's honestly like cattle farming, but you have like these.
A lot of selective breeding.
Not overly. It's still a pretty small operation, so like can't be too picky. They want to like for the brood stock. Obviously, if they have see any good growers, they try and push them. And that encourages better growers, but
Who are your main clients that you sell to?
If you could say.
I don't think I can say. But
It's like, what's the general sort of? It's
well,
like,
Chef Michael Smith is one of our buyers.
oh, okay. So you guys grow the fish like fully then, and then sell them kind of like
Yep.
retail.
Yeah, we have one fellow who fillets them, and then they sell the fillets.
Do you guys like get like real like? Do you guys like name or anything like? You guys ever like? Oh yeah, saw Beth and Henry hanging around.
We name the
Bet
brood
they're all
stock.
named.
Some of the brood stock have names. I've named a few that were in circulation, but it's because they've distinguished characteristics. Like there was a fish that was it grew kind of wonky, so it looked like a spade, like an ace of spade.
Yeah.
And so I call it David Spade. And then there was another one that was really pale because it didn't have the proper pigmentation, and it was that's another just like growth defect or whatever it is. But I called him Albino Richie.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What about you, Tim? What are you at these days?
Well, I am in school, studying towards a agricultural business degree.
That's cool.
Very fun stuff so far. Learning lots, Feels kind of weird to be back in school though,
Yeah.
especially when you're like in your first year at like 23 years old.
What's it? Oh, so for anyone who doesn't know, Tim's gonna be he's living in Churro, so he's gonna be in out of the podcast on a week-to-week basis, or whenever we do this podcast.
Yeah.
Be popping in and out.
Yeah, he'll be popping in and out. So some episodes he won't be on, but some episodes he will be, and we'll try to keep him on as much as we can. There will also be guests too. So I mean,
Got a few guests in mind. I think
you?
they'll rattle some things up, but that's for down the road.
the more we release too, like the more we put up, the more people will want to be on the show.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little. Sorry if I'm a little quiet today. I'm just feeling a little dry. It's been a dry kind of day.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun last night, and I'm paying for it now.
How late were you guys like up till last night?
Well, everyone went to bed around 1:30 or 2, and then me being me, I don't know when to go to bed. I get on the Xbox and get on the Minecraft and the Halo and all that. I think it was around 4 o'clock. I decided.
That's ridiculous, Allan. Come on now.
And it's not like I stopped drinking when everyone went to bed. You know, the drinks were there. Things will keep going.
I sleep drink. I suffer from a severe problem.
I don't know. I was thirsty last night,
Yeah.
and definitely.
I don't know. I reach a point where I either gotta keep soldiering on and just start forcing them down,
Yeah.
or I gotta like
Seen that before,
wean
Ben.
off. Yeah. So circling back, Tim, what will this? Was it a diploma or is it a degree or what's the deal?
She's a degree, yeah.
So it's 4 years.
4-year degree, yeah.
Yeah. And
4-year
so
program.
what's it gonna give you? Like for like what can you do with your degree?
Well, as the name implies, business degree. So, my plan is right now go back to the potato farm, for sure. But a degree will also open up other avenues, that I might pursue. And you know what? It's 4 years away. A lot can change in 4 years, and I'm just gonna see where it takes me.
Sure, you're learning a lot.
Learning lots, yes. Very interesting programs.
So what are you using the iNaturalist for? I've seen that you were going with that.
What's that?
It's maybe Tim can fill us in on what an iNaturalist is.
iNaturalist is an app that you can use to identify different plants and organisms.
Okay.
So basically, what you do is you put it on your smartphone, and you take a picture, and then it uses a computer algorithm to try to figure out what that is. And then, once you upload it, it marks your geolocation on a map, and kind of in the larger scheme of things, you can see, where different organisms are and stuff like that. So actually a cool experience was one of the guys that actually introduced me to this app, he took a picture of a spider in like his home or something like that. And
Jesus Christ.
and it was actually a spider that was not actually native to Truro, so it was a very interesting find.
That's cool.
Did you kill that shit? Invasive.
I don't know.
I mean, Isaac's not wrong. Invasives are not welcome.
Yeah. I don't
You know what though? Like you'd be surprised how much shit out there is invasive. Like lupins.
Go away.
Oh,
Yeah, lupins are invasive.
Where
So
did
why are they
come
not?
from?
Why are they not in Nova Scotia?
Well, because
I'm not arguing with you. That fascinates me.
what do you mean? Like not in Nova Scotia? Like
Is there lupins in Nova? I thought that was just a PEI thing.
no. Well, I don't know. Like I don't know if they're over there. They probably are over there. I've just never been around when like they're blooming.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
like,
me either.
The I know for around here, the reason that people don't really like, try and like destroy them all they can, is because well, one, they're pretty as hell.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then two, they kind of are in this little niche part where like other organisms don't really like they're not negatively affecting other plants.
They're thriving, but they're not stepping
Yeah,
on anybody's toes.
so, like-
Essentially.
Yeah, they're like an invasive that's not really invading.
So let me ask you this then: what is the actual definition of an invasive species? Because what my mind goes to at first is, a species that is not from the area that has come and is somewhat taking over. It's come from another place in the world and now it's growing here. But really, if you go back far enough, would you not consider a lot of species invasive? Like, for example, potatoes, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're like, what do you say, location of origin, their center of origin would be in,
Ireland?
South America actually, with like the Mayans and stuff.
What?
They grew potatoes and stuff like that. And now they're a huge thing on PEI, So,
Are potatoes invasive?
I don't know if you consider them invasive.
They're
I
cash
don't know
crop.
if they're. I don't know if they're. They originated here, I guess. So, is there like a kind of a difference between those?
Well, like I don't know, invasive. When I've always read it in like my textbooks and stuff from school,
Mm-hmm.
and even like going through other little. Jesus.
Isaac is starting a little bonfire on the table here.
Just
Yeah, you can't help but that's
I love setting stuff on fire.
yeah. He's a little firebug. That
Old
Isaac.
pyro, that Isaac, yeah.
Yeah. A good thing. That's no. It is probably a good thing that he does blacksmithing.
Like, is there different levels to invasive species? Like, obviously, here in PEI, we have.
Well, they actually do have like an invasive like invaders. It's called the GIIN. It's called the Global Invader or invasive. It's basically a giant worldwide network that they're trying to put up to indicate like the most ones of concern.
Interesting.
And invasive, like I was saying, from what I've read in my textbooks and like general symposiums and forums that I've gone to. Invasive's always been like the definition was like something that's not native to the area that is,
Maybe
brought into what's that?
maybe it starves out the kind of like.
Well, yeah, like it takes that place in the chain, the
Yeah.
food chain. Yeah.
Well, not just that, but like it just kind of outcompetes. Yeah, your native species, and like
Jesus.
right now we have a fire in the can bin.
Fire!
It's citronelle. It's burning citronelle. It's keeping the mosquitoes away. Bet you guys are glad I put the recording on, aren't you?
You're a little troublemaker there, Isaac.
No, I'm not the one shoving the table.
Who the hell did that?
Oh my
Jesus
god! Every time you kick that, the mic hits like ripple.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at
Look at the feedback.
All right, sorry,
Alright, we
audio
gotta
listeners.
I'll
got a few kinks to work out here.
No, I think you just light it again.
Gone thought.
I love that we get into these deep kind of conversations, and all of a sudden something simple like that just like erupts the whole thing.
You can only.
God
stand
damn, there's
so long.
Glutenberg. There's Glutenberg cans all over the floor now.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Tim won't be on the next few podcasts.
Yeah,
brother.
this is our last podcast. Back in the bin we go.
It smells delicious though. It really smells
Yeah.
like summer, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're destroying it.
I want to take a camping trip this fall. What do you guys think about a camping trip?
I
Where you wanna go? Cabot Trail?
Yeah, maybe somewhere in Nova Scotia. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Why don't we do that?
I'd be into that. Get a couple of Harleys.
Wild dogs.
We should get one of those old vans and fill it with blankets in the back.
We should get 2 old vans.
We should
maybe
buy
3.
a bar.
we can turn this place into a bar.
Oh yeah.
We'd be popping every night.
I was thinking about it.
Little bootlegger.
So we're going with the barn cast, right? Is that what we're calling it?
I don't know.
Roundhouse,
We've been
good.
thinking just trying to figure out a name. It's the first episode, and we're kind of leaning towards the barn cast. I think it rolls off the tongue well.
Isaac's podcast.
Isaac's podcast.
Isaac's
the,
audio.
The Isaac Ching experience.
For some god, that's a jinx.
These are all guests on, by the way. I'm the actual.
If you want to be the big dog
For
around
someone
here.
who was very reluctant to take on the host role, you definitely.
Alan, pull that shit up.
Yeah, no, that's great. Alan, what about you? What have you been up to lately? You're the HVAC guy, right?
Yeah, graduated Highland College 2018, 2-year refrigeration, air conditioning, and heating course. Working towards my Red Seal right now. I got to get 8,000 hours in the trade to get that ticket, which
That's
is
crazy.
it's a long time, It's a long time for.
At least, but you know what the cool thing about like the trades are is the fact that like, Dad was always big into this because when I was like I always knew I wanted to do something with like outdoors and with wildlife.
Yeah.
Or at least the environment. But like at the time I didn't know I didn't have a focus, and Dad was just like, well, here's the thing: if you can't figure it out, your best bet would be to go take a 1-year or 2-year trade and just at least at the very end of the day, it's a ticket.
Yeah.
And if you look at how much schooling costs and how much you can make off bursaries and grants and stuff like that off your first year out of high school,
Yeah.
you could have most of it paid for, which is nice.
I was lucky. I took a 2-year course, and the first year I had no help with tuition, with nothing. And it pretty well broke me. I wouldn't have went to school the second year, But the government, they really took care of me well. They paid a certain percentage towards my tuition. They let me draw unemployment insurance while I was in school.
No, because there's that program, right?
Yeah, that program.
Skills or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that just made such a difference because I was living away from home and didn't really, I wasn't working while I was in school. I was concentrating on my studies, and I did try working while I was in school before, and I know lots of people can do it or they have to do it and they pull it off, and good for them. But I'm not one of those people. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just.
Your first year away is tough too.
It is, yeah, it is. Because in high school and stuff, I never really studied. I never really learned how to study. And that was the hardest part. Like, the first semester is just, all right, cracking the book open and just reading. And I know it sounds silly saying it now, but at the time, I didn't want to read. God,
Reading's
But
for
it's-
losers.
Reasons for losing. I just didn't have the concentration. Or that was my mindset anyway. I figured, like, what's the point of even trying to crack the book? Because I know I'm just going to walk away from it. But no, after a couple months, you start to enjoy it in a sense.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's cool too because like you're moving out of that weird time where it's like in high school you're taking as many subjects as you can
Yeah.
for building blocks as it were in order to like build towards something for you afterwards, and you don't necessarily like everything you're studying. Like I hated like a lot. I believe it or not, I hated a lot of like the science courses. I couldn't. I was not. I for some reason I stuck with chemistry even though I was terrible at chemistry. And I didn't even bother taking a grade 11 biology. No, sorry, grade 12 biology. I took grade 11 biology.
Yeah, I didn't do grade 12 biology either.
It was a lot, and like I just it wasn't stuff that fascinated me because like it wasn't biology that I thought was cool. It was like or interesting. It was like biology, like human anatomy and stuff like that, and or like how cells like replicate and like it
Never really touched on evolution or any of that such.
Well, I don't know. It was.
You read the Bible, didn't
Go.
you?
we're gonna divert this conversation. I mean, you gotta kind of determine what kind of podcast you want to be right off the gate.
Do you think we can block certain people?
I think that's the whole point of why people were skeptical of not having us do a podcast.
Well, yeah. If we were gonna have it like so that our parents could listen to it, it probably wouldn't be very funny.
Yeah.
No.
My mom has a great sense of humor, so she'll enjoy this kind of stuff.
I can't get stressed over things like that, but
I'm a little worried for like as far as like as long as we keep it relatively respectable, and we're not gonna be touching on political stuff. We kind of went off the rails a little bit this episode, like in the last little bit, but that was we're gonna like it's not like we're gonna be trying to push buttons or anything like that. Like we're gonna be
Most of us won't be.
most of us
I
will.
guess.
We'll keep Josh on a tight leash.
We could have a button for Josh.
Yeah. You know what? He's our Joel.
yeah. We'll get him talking about gold or something. One of his Josh's crazy
my
conspiracy
Lord.
theories.
I don't think I've hung out with Josh enough to actually fully know him. I just remember him from like high school and like
Wow. He's a treat.
yeah.
It's a treat.
It really is.
He's been yeah.
It's like you go to Josh's place, he greets you, he's like, "Hi Jim, how's it going, buddy?" He gives you a bit of this, and you're like, all right, what's gonna happen tonight? And he starts off so warm and stuff. It's all a ruse.
It's on the ruse.
In a couple hours he's gonna be like,
When we were on the basketball team together, I remember we had a guys versus girls game at the end when the season was all over. We're just kind of like screwing around, and Josh was on my own team, and I go up to shoot the basket, and he goes up and stuffs me. I'm just like, what the hell, Josh?
dickhead.
And he's just like, yeah. Yeah, he got all in my face.
Yeah, that'd be Josh.
Yeah, it was great.
Josh is a real Josh.
Josh is the real Josh. He's just joshing around.
Well, he's
Just Josh and me.
Just joshing around. That'd be a good podcast name for Josh's podcast. If Josh ever.
I used to say that to my brother Josh all the time,
Yeah.
and he hated it. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know why. He's just like,
Joshing around.
he's like, he looked at me one day. I was like, I hate freaking say that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, but anyways, yeah, I think as far as this podcast goes, like, we're doing all right. I felt like this first episode has gone so far pretty good.
It's
Above
hard.
and
Like
beyond.
I'll be honest. Like I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I always figured it was, I'll say easy. You know, you just put the microphone in.
Alan,
and you
I'm
talk,
glad
but-
that you're like the editor, cause like, holy shit.
Yeah, I got my work cut out for me.
A lot of garbage to sift through.
And we might get 20 usable minutes in it.
20 usable minutes. Yeah, no, that's fair. It's gonna be interesting for sure. As long
I'd like to see where this takes us.
we can for the next one we can always research some topics too.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
By the way, for those of you listening, this podcast is brought to you by the Humble Shoehorn. I don't know how to use it yet properly, but we're just gonna make jokes when it happens.
Oh shit, Keegan's here.
Oh yeah.
But you think we like have an episode where we talk about DMT?
No.
What's DMT?
Oh. Okay.
Do we?
Yeah, maybe we should. Wait. What do we?
All right, well, guys, I'm heading back to Churro here.
Yeah.
Safe travels,
Oh
Tim.
man.
It's been good. Thank you very much. Peace out to all the viewers.
We'll see you
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. That's our next. Okay.
Thanksgiving as well. No, obviously you guys can
You.
record more.
Yeah.
We'll have to take the podcast to Churro.
Yeah, take it on the road.
Take it on the road. The Baron cast. Yeah.
We'll have to take the Baron with us too, unfortunately.
We have
Oh,
one of
yeah,
those
yeah, for
one of those movable trucks that take houses and stuff like that, and have us
Yeah.
sitting inside the barn as it's wrong.
Well, what's perfect with that? We could just record a quick episode on the way there.
Yeah,
That would be good.
record and all that.
What do we?
What do you guys think? Do you want to wrap this
I think
up?
let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
See you in Thanksgiving. See you in Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
See you in Thanksgiving.
see you at Thanksgiving, Geek.
Good,
Yeah.
good seeing you.
Good
Good seeing you.
Well,
Simon Neil, how are you?
You hold yourself.
I didn't know who you were at first.
Yeah.
Anyways, to all our
Okay.
viewers that
Yeah. Everyone on the podcast, that was keeping.
to all our viewers listening in right now, we're probably gonna.
No, it's all good. You might as well come in and introduce yourself.
for those of you who are still listening, thank you. I think we're gonna wrap it up though for real this time. Anybody have any final words before we send off?
Just
Damn it! All right, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Hey, fucking, now I gotta download a bleep thing. Bleep that. Learn how to bleep works.